Hi everyone, it's DB Smiley tonight, casting MadCast Gaming's Dojo. This is going to be set on Towers of Doom, and this is Coach Game Mode. So we have two teams, Team Mr. Epic and Team Stan. That's their team names. Mr. Epic's team is called Nope, but I'm just going to call it Team Mr. Epic because that's easier. Joining me tonight, I have a guest caster who's going to try to add the color commentary and give more of a macro scope. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm MasterWonton. DB Smiley.
And we're both members of MadCast Gaming, so you can find that at madcastgaming.com. It's a great community for Heroes of the Storm. They also have a League of Legends chapter, and we have an Overwatch chapter going. So it's a lot of opportunities to play over there. So we're seeing a hammer ban first from.
I'm not surprised. They've got Angelic, who's one of the best hammer players.
But Angelic's team banned hammer.
No, they didn't. Angelic is on the blue team. And
blue team banned hammer. Oh no, I have a graphics bug on my screen, so their bans are reversed. So that's why.
Okay.
So it's a respect ban for Angelic's.
Yeah, and you know what? Hammer's pretty strong on this map too. You know, you've got basically never. If you've got a hammer, you've basically got never-ending poke for those for those events, the shrines.
Now, Kerrigan, we are in the new patch. Kerrigan did see a couple nerfs today. Have you had a chance to experiment with her yet? I have, and she still seems strong. Certainly not as OP as yesterday. But do you have any thoughts on still first banning her?
I have yet to play Kerrigan today. I am not quite sure about where she stands right now. I know that prior to today's patch, she was outrageously strong. You know, getting picked almost every game. For a couple days there, it was Kerrigan almost every game. I think even if Kerrigan doesn't have those big number boosts anymore, I think that Kerrigan is still a strong hero in that she provides one of the strongest combos in the game with her abilities. It's that crazy combination of damage and CC that's really good for setting things up. Oh, here we see Angelic's picking up the ETC along with the Falstad. Now I think that's a really strong first pick, and the reason for that is because Falstad has that global presence, which is amazing on this map. You know, you can get to those long distance shrines. But on the other end, when you look at the pick with ETC, Falstad has one of the most powerful combos in the game in the form of Hennerlin Blast Hammer, which combos very, very well with ETC's Mosh Pit. And you know, that's one of the two ways to approach this map. You know, you can approach it with a hard fighting comp, which it looks like they're going to be doing. You know, the idea being, I'm going to combo you down and then go take all 3 shrines. Or you can approach it the other way, which is kind of a push comp. So if you push in with, you know, you grab something like a Sylvanas, Rain, or Tychus, and you just push forward and then grab them sporadically.
Speaking of Sylvanas, we did see Sylvanas come out for the red team. At least I believe it's the red team. I might be having a graphics glitch still. But interesting, I think, to see the Brightwing ban, trying to prevent blue team from going full global, I would assume.
I like seeing the Brightwing ban. Brightwing Falstad is just very strong in general, especially on a map where the objectives are so far apart. I also like the Sylvanas pick. Sylvanas is just all around a really good hero, especially on this map, because you've got to understand, you can take a keep in the first minute of this game, and it puts you in a very distinct advantage, right? It puts you way ahead. If you take that Sylvanas, I expect to see them grab probably some auto attackers with this team, push that bottom fort right out the gate, take the towers before they get to lanes. We see the Malfurion and the Jaina. Malfurion's there to mana battery and allow a little bit of a sustain because that's such a burst-heavy team. Yeah, that's just an all-out wombo team. When that mosh hits, that team's toast. That's kind of the way they're looking at this right now. They've got a lot to deal with it though. Sylvanas has got that has got that Withering Arrow, and you've also got Psycholistic's Johanna pick, which has got the both her ults are great, as well as the fact that you can just hit that D and walk in and hit them with the.
Now I would like to comment just on. I do really like Red's picks there, and the reason I like them is you saw blue team go with Malfurion, which is a straight up sustained healer. So they're going to try to counter with some burst damage here. The question is, do you think that with Johanna that Johanna will be able to disrupt the other team enough to prevent them from focusing Greymane
I
and
do.
Kael'thas. Okay.
Okay, so I'm actually not 100% on those picks. I think that the Greymane specifically feels a little bit out of place here. I like the Zagara pick. Zagara is just in general an amazing hero. There's really not a lot to say on that front. I specifically am not a huge fan of the Greymane pick because that Greymane's going to have to dive on top of ETC. And ETC is just going to be able to peel, I think, peel off that Greymane. And if not, just hit that Mosh. You know, you've already got 3 melee. If you can grab Johanna, Greymane, Rhaegar, and a Mosh, that team is toast, unless Sylvanas can hit him with the arrow, right?
Well, what do you think about the blue team having really 4 backliners here? Whereas on the red team, we're seeing Johanna. Rhaegar can frontline a little bit. Greymane can certainly punish, although he is low health. But do you think that that is a concern, that ETC maybe doesn't have enough support and could get blown up by that Kael'thas-Greymane combo?
I think that ETC is going to be fine. ETC is a very beefy hero. He's got a lot of disruption for something like a Greymane. You know, Greymane dives on top of him. He's just going to hit that Q, hit that W, and now he's out of the way, right?
Okay.
You know, I think their biggest concern is making sure that ETC is safe from Johanna and Sylvanas. That's the biggest thing they have to worry about right now. I actually would have liked to have seen Uther over Malfurion with that team composition. If they picked up Uther, if they picked up an Uther to Divine Shield that ETC, there is nothing that red team could do to deal with that. Like that, if a good Mosh would be GG for every fight if they had an Uther with that comp.
Now, blue team is Mr. Epic's team, correct? I just want to make sure I have that correct. Okay, so let's go ahead and run down the teams. On the blue team, we're going to see Larama on Malfurion, Caveman on Falstad, Predalkos on Zagara, and Jelix will be playing the ETC. Eternity will be on the Jaina. On the red team, we're going to have Forensic on the Greymane, Scratch on Sylvanas, Psycholistic on Rhaegar, Kael'thas will be played by Hollywood Boy, and we're going to see Lag Spike on the Rhaegar. I may have said Psycholistic on Rhaegar, I meant Psycholistic on Johanna. So both teams going 5 bans to 1 lane here.
I'm not surprised. I mean, it's very... Honestly, taking that combo mid is very, very standard. And you know what? As soon as you see that Sylvanas, the only reason you would really want to pick a Sylvanas is to grab that early push, because that's going to put him at a significant advantage on the.
And ETC is going to be able to dive in, use the. And ETC was able to use the power slide to get in and push Kael'thas under the cannon wall while they focus Sylvanas. And now I don't even think Psycholistic's going to get out here. Angelix, if his power slide comes up, they're going to be able to finish. Nope, Psycholistic is going to be able to get away there. We're seeing Falstad now fly up to the top. Falstad going to get the soak going top lane. Overall, though, we did see one cannon wall go down, but yeah, the 2 kills.
Very favorable for blue. Take 2 kills. You know, they're already at a half level advantage here. That 1 cannon and half a wall is most definitely not worth it for 2 early kills, and more importantly, that lost soak early on.
Now we're seeing Zagara take Infest here. That's, I think, an interesting pick. A good pick on this map,
I think that's just kind of a standard pick right now, to be fair. I mean, Infest is just really strong.
Right. Well, it did receive, I think, a nerf today. It went from plus 200 to plus 150.
It is still on plus 200, I just checked.
Okay. Now up here at the top, we're seeing Kael'thas against Falstad, but Kael'thas about to get caught out by Angelic's power sliding in. Jaina getting the burst on the Hollywood Boy. That is one dead Kael'thas. Greymane tried to rotate up, but he was too late. Scratch, same. They were not able to save Kael'thas. So now we're seeing Zagara looks like unchallenged in the bottom, while we're seeing this fight up in where the boss is. Caveman, though, getting very low. But the Root's going to be able to save Caveman.
Red needs to back off right now. They don't have their KT. They don't have their main source of damage. They're all super low. All it's going to take is one really good power slide, and that whole team could go down. Look at that composition. They've got Jaina Falstad.
Now ETC though isolated right now. Now he goes in. They didn't chase him. I guess they were afraid of backup coming, but it was a bit of an aggressive move by ETC there. But still, no one's soaking bot lane right now against Zagara.
Yeah, I mean, this combination of losing soak and allowing players to get picked is really leading to a very significant level deficiency by the red team, and that's going to hurt them in the long run very, very hard, especially against a team with their team comps, right? Looking at
looks like they're going to try to catch out Scratch, root onto Scratch. Sorry for the interruption. And Jane is going to get the finish. Really good rotation there by Larama. Perfectly placed root and really good play by Eternity to get the finish. But now Zagara getting challenged in bot lane.
Yeah. So you've got to understand, the thing about blue team's team composition is that once they hit 10, they're going to have a very, very significant power spike, right? Much more so than the red team, in that they're going to get that Mosh, they're going to get that, I expect to see Ring, and I'm not quite sure about Falstad. Falstad might take the Blast, or he might take the Gust. Either one would probably be a good pick here. I would like to see Blast, because there's a bit of squish on the red team, and they've got that Mosh to combo with it. If they fall behind and blue team is able to get ults before red
Jaina posturing possibly to take out Forensic here. Sorry to interrupt again.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, and here goes Jaina trying to go in for the Gust, but no commitment from Caveman. They're not going to be able to get the gank. Yeah. But Kael'thas being caught out of position in the bottom. Body blocks coming in from Angelix. Now that that's working, I bet he's happy. But Kael'thas is going to be able to get away. And Zagara is actually going to get pushed out of lane. 3-man commitment on bottom.
Yeah, but it's like they go to respond to bot lane and then they leave top lane alone. You know, they've got Falstad up there. He can fly down whenever he wants, right?
But this is a solo pillar phase, so now we are going to see Falstad fly in. Hollywood Boy really out of position there. And the fight is starting to break out. Greymane trying to get some damage onto ETC. Angelix going in to interrupt Lag Spike. Does get the interrupt, but Angelix needs to be careful. He's low. Cyclistic going to try to condemn, but Lag Spike now very low. Rhaegar's heals before Ancestral. He does have some limit, and they have to be aware of that. And it looks like blue team's going to successfully zone out red team. Lag Spike go on the tap, but Forensic got killed by minions. That just happened. And that should be the end of this fight. Red team should stop contesting. Cyclistic, though, going in anyway. Now going to get pushed in further by the ETC. Tons of damage coming out. Root on the Cyclistic. Cyclistic gets blown up. Kael'thas comes in, but too late. Trying to hit the gravity lapse. Doesn't collect anything. And that's going to be more health over to blue team. But yeah, I think that's something to watch for going forward, is that living bomb spread.
Anyways, as I was saying before, so... blue team is very, very dependent on getting that XP advantage, because what you've got to understand is that if blue team has ults and red team does not, blue team can go in on an engage wherever they want without any fear of having ETC disrupted, right? And that's very scary, especially with the Falstad Jaina combo to follow it up. Really, I think that this is a loss of XP. The reason why that fight was so one-sided was because the blue team just had their 7 talents and red didn't. Red needed to be soaking another lane, grabbing a bunch of XP, and then moving back down when they felt that they had a bit of a when they felt that they had a bit more safety.
And speaking of talent tiers, here comes the level 10. Kael'thas is going to get caught out here. Kael'thas in a bad position. Just devastating gank there. But we're going to see the mosh pit taken from ATC. I thought there was a possibility we'd see the stage dive and doubling down on the... Cyclistic going to be caught out. Root onto Cyclistic. Ooh, ATC's going to be able to get around. Nope, going to get away. I thought there was a remote possibility of a stage dive to add to global.
Team,
but
looking at their whole team comp is like a distinctly mosh pit team. They've got so much burst AoE damage to deal with people once they get grabbed in that mosh.
Yeah. And that is one thing I like about Mouth too, is that if you can get that initial kill, Mouth is really good at just keeping people alive. The only thing you have to watch out for is just that burst. But we are now seeing pressure on the mid lane. Hollywood Boy, though, very low, is gonna get deleted there, and Cyclistic still in a bad spot. Right now, we are seeing blue team giving up top soak. Falstad is rotating top. It looks like things are going to settle in a bit, but still no kills for the red team at this point. Fight break down on the bottom, but it looks like Lag Spike and Scratch are just going to be content to wait and then clean up. But if you look at the walls for red team are on on bottom is just, it's gone. And Scratch is now going to get caught out. Trying to kill Scratch with the Banelings, does not get the kill. Up and top.
Take a look at this. The other thing you should take a look at is look at this creep spread in the bot lane.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That's a lot of creep to deal with. That's
and
really
Sylvanas did get killed that time. Stuck around a little bit too long. And the Banelings were able to get the finish. And now this bot fort is trembling. Kael'Thas's going to have to rotate down.
I seriously doubt they're going to be able to stop him from getting this fort.
Well, we are seeing the Phoenix come out. So now level 10s for the red team. But blue team already almost on level 13s. Blessed Shield from Joanna, trying to increase that lockdown. Lag Spike, though, goes way too deep. Lag Spike going to get deleted. Still seeing just even trades in lane and top and mid, so the action's still mostly on bottom. Now, what are your thoughts on these two Nidus networks here on the bottom? One on the left, one on the right. The one on the right's getting deleted, so never mind.
I think that's really good positioning. That allows Zagara to very safely get between the fort and her own wall. The only thing I would change is I would put that on the left-hand side. I would put that behind the wall. You know.
Psycholistic trying to hide in the bush does find Larama.
Oh, Scratch getting very close to going down. He's going to have to back out.
Yeah. And Zagara's still pushing on bottom, but right now we're focusing on the action up here at top. Hollywood Boy trying to get the channel. Going to bring out the Phoenix to zone. Trying to finish that channel. It doesn't look like Blue's going to be able to contest. Mighty Gust coming in.
Gust a touch late there. That was definitely intended to cancel that channel. That's okay, you know. Gust is only a 60-second cooldown. So
now it looks like Red Team has their sights set on Zagara, and they're looking to cash in. Greymane is diving in. Wailing Arrow, though, spent on Zagara. Do you think that was overkill?
It was absolutely overkill. And there was 2 ults spent on that. That is... like way
Go for the throat was
been
used as well, yeah. Although it did get the reset, but still you have to use it in 10 seconds, so he just didn't get any value. Angelix though was behind the wall, is able to power slide back in, but blue team not really rotating to defend this fort. Do you think that they're just trying to trade pressure, or just people slow to rotate?
I really don't know. I think it probably is just slow rotations. Like they needed to have someone down there defending. And they just didn't respond. I don't know what the reason for that would be. And
that's the power of Sylvanas, is if you can get 5 people together, you can just walk in and say, this fort belongs to us now. Now rotating up to try to catch Malf out of position. Now they're starting to make this rotation comp work. They are going to pick up Malf. Falstad needs to be careful. He needs to realize that they are roaming. And clearly where he is, he's the next to die if they choose to.
You've got to understand, Falstad has some of the best escape of anybody in the game. I think that he's, of every hero... of any hero it could be, I think Falstad is basically the safest to be pushing like that. The only thing, and the other thing is that they can see Falstad down at mid, or all their players.
Ooh, Jaina getting caught out with the gravity lapse does get deleted.
Ring, but nothing to follow up on it.
Mosh coming in, but there's not really a follow-up though.
I think he's got the Falstad there to do a bunch of damage. They're going to be very low. And you know what? Well, that may not be any dead players. That's a bunch of very low players for these shrines.
That's true, yeah. Although Jaina's still in the penalty box for 20 seconds, excuse me. So Zagara looks like Zagara's going to try to take bottom. I'm not seeing anyone from red rotating down. They may try to take the top 2. But Psycholistic, I think, forgot his teammates. Went in, but now the follow-up's coming. Wailing Arrow does hit the ETC. ETC very low. Gonna burn the Mighty Gust trying to save it. And it is a good Mighty Gust there. Top right already claimed by red, bottom already claimed by blue. The fight now is here at top left. And Scratch did manage to get the channel off before Jaina's Blizzard came in. Yep. Psycholistic very low though, needs to get out. I think red team, if they can safely retreat here, is going to call this a win.
I don't think that blue's going to allow them to.
Angelix with a brilliant power slide there. It's going to catch 2 people out. 3 kills on Rhaegar and Kael'Thas.
I don't think that was worth it to take that shrine, because you got to understand the only points on. Really,
they're not done yet.
For the matter of the last one.
Psycholistic going to get blown up. ETC able to just dive in, almost catch a Scratch too. Yeah, now they are definitely going to lose this fort. And they just lost bottom fort, too. This is going to be all 6 over to blue team.
They're going to start getting singular strikes by the...
Red team trying to rush up top, but blue team, that's the only fort that's attackable right now. They can run up and defend and just delay this, and the core may drop. This is, I think, likely game here.
I doubt that this will be game. I bet it's going to...
Well, Scratch just got blown up, though, and without Scratch, they don't have a way to silence that tower. They now have to fight underneath their tower. Fight here is up at red. ETC power sliding in, gonna get the Mosh out on 3. That is game. Absolutely.
That's going to be game.
Hollywood gonna get blown up. Brilliant Mosh. Follow up roots from Jaina. And they're able to get the kills. Not gonna be able to kill Forensic, but that is game. They have no way to stop their core from taking shots. Really good job. Overall, 18 to 3 kills in favor of the blue team this game.
Yep.
And for good measure, they're going to take the boss.
Very well executed Wombo game right there. I like the Falstad ETC pick. I really do think that the Falstad ETC pick was the deciding factor of this game.
I agree.
That I don't think any other combo of Tank Assassin could have done as much to execute a kind of Wombo play than those two. And the Jaina was huge as well, I think. I think that was just generally, I think that blue team just generally outdrafted and outplayed red team.
I agree with that. Now looking at the stats, we are seeing, unsurprisingly, the damage certainly favored blue team. But I do want to ask, at one point in the game, we did see red manage to rotate and grab a couple pickoffs. But they left the Falstad alone and started focusing mid lane. Do you think it would have made any difference if at that point they had gone up to that top lane in order to kill that Falstad, or do you think it wouldn't have been enough time to stop the inevitable from happening?
It's hard to say. I think that, I don't think they would have actually been able to pick Falstad, because, Falstad is interesting in that he can just E out and then just Zed wherever he wants, right? He's able to do things very safely. I think that they would have stopped him from getting that fort, but I also think that then they would have just grabbed everybody and moved the whole team up there to take that fort. Like I think that it had some impact. I don't think that it was a deciding factor though. Like that Falstad was allowed to snowball really hard. That Falstad was, I think, at 118 stacks at the end of that game. Or 118 bonus damage, I should say. That's 59 stacks. And really, like, they just didn't have anything to deal with that ETC Falstad Wombo pick. I would have liked to have seen the Hinterland Blast this game. I don't think that the Gust was used to great effect. And I think that, it could have been very good having that Gust. I think that in this particular situation that the Hinterland Blast would have been a better pick, simply because I don't think that the Gust was used very effectively this game. Hinterland Blast is just always kind of has the same effect of blowing up heroes, which is really, really good when you combine it with an ETC Mosh.
Right, that would have been pretty good. Alright, looks like we're going to hop up to the next channel, so I'm temporarily going to put the stream on mute. I'll keep it going, and if we don't have another game, I will silence it. So I'll see you in a bit.
Channel
Respond.
switched.
Mid's the safest way to do that.
User joined your channel.
Very, very smart.
Good games, guys.
Good games.
Alright, so there's going to be 2 custom games. Angelix is going to host one, I'm going to host the other. We'll load her on up and we'll review. Correct.
Channel switched.
Alright, thanks for watching, everyone. It's been fun. That is going to be the only Dojo game for tonight. I will get this VOD up in the future. Thank you.
User joined your channel.